President and my colleagues, this is an interim report of the Ad hoc Committee on Crude Oil Theft on the investigation of the incessant and nefarious acts of crude oil theft in the Niger Delta and its actors. Mr. President, this is actually a voluminous report running into several pages, almost 40 pages. So I am proposing to simply go to the recommendations. I know how brisk you are. I know that normally you don't waste time on reports. So may I seek your indulgence to go straight to the recommendations?
That's very good. You may wish to go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee, after exhaustive deliberation and review of its findings, recommended as follows. 1, that the federal government should mandate...
That's page 32, distinguished senators. Page 32. Am I right?
Thank you. That the federal government should mandate the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, to strictly enforce internationally acceptable crude oil measurement standards at all production sites and export terminals, or restore back to the Weights and Measures Department of the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment to the upstream sector and empower it to acquire and use state-of-the-art measuring equipment at all production sites and export terminals. This will promote and strengthen accurate measurements, transparency, accountability in the oil and gas industry. 2, the federal government should deploy adequate modern technology, equipment, logistics to security agencies to enable them function effectively. This may include the use of UAVs, such as quadcopters, for surveillance and integrated pipeline monitoring system to detect thefts and leaks. 3, federal government should establish a maritime trust fund for the purpose of supporting the development and maintenance of maritime infrastructure, services, and initiatives. The fund is strategic to improving maritime training, safety, security, and fostering economic growth. The federal government should set up a special court to promptly prosecute crude oil thieves and their collaborators. 5, federal government should immediately implement the Host Communities Development Trust Fund under the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA, to reduce sabotage. Next, all abandoned and decommissioned wells should be completely ceded to NUPRC, who should in turn hand such wells to modular refineries to reduce sabotage and increase crude availability for local consumption. 7, the ad hoc committee should be given the mandate to track, trace, and recover all proceeds of stolen crude oil transactions, both locally and internationally, as forensic review by the consultants shows over $22 billion, $81 billion, and $200 billion remains unaccounted. Conclusion: the committee appreciates the Senate leadership and the entire Senate for the opportunity to serve in this regard. It is the sincere hope of the committee that the recommendations will be strongly implemented to serve as deterrent for future theft of the nation's crude oil and help recover stolen crude funds. Thank you, Mr. President.
Acting Chief Whip.
Thank you.
I partook in this crude oil theft work that we did. It took us several weeks to do this job. And we traveled far and wide. We examined what happens, both where you produce your crude, the refineries, the way they transport them, and all the rest of them. Our report here, I thank you, Mr. President, that our chairman is very.
Were you a member of the committee? Are you a member of the committee?
Yes.
You don't allow those who are not members to contribute
I
now.
want to explain certain things. I'm coming.
You produce the report. Allow others to...
I want to tell you why you must accept our report wholeheartedly.
No need, I said it. Any other person, please. Who is
Okay.
Ningi? You crafted, you did all this. So allow those who were not part of it to comment on the report.
Mr. Chairman,
Chief Whip.
I thank you very much, Dr. Abdul Ningi, and I represent Bauchi Center of Bauchi State. First of all, let me say this is a very detailed report. But this is a report that we should take our time, look at it, look at the findings. In view of the findings, whether or not the recommendation tallies with the findings. You look at page 30, foreign recovery, and it goes, analysis of document by A.G. Abonyema, a consultant to the committee, revealed a total shortfall of $81 billion between expected receipts of crude proceeds declared by the NNPC DPR in 2016 and in 2017, and receipts declared by CBI respectively. Also based on interim investigation of crude sales from 2015 to date, other investigation by the international consultant in the United Kingdom and Canada, the committee projects the discovery of 200 billion of unaccounted crude oil sales proceeds, which require further investigation and recovery. So if you add this 200 billion plus 81 billion, it means there is a gap of 281 billion. But towards the end of the recommendation of the committee, this is where my problem lies. 7, the ad hoc committee should be given the mandate to track, trace, and recover all proceeds of stolen crude oil transactions, both locally, internationally, as forensic review by the consultant. That is my problem. My problem is that we are a parliament. You can only track, trace, and report. Track, trace, and report. Nowhere in this constitution, no decided rules have given us a legitimate mandate to recover. So what I think we should do, the committee should know, they should give us specified losses, locations, and then report to the Senate. And then the Senate, in its conclusion, will now say, this is channel to either EFCC, ICPC, for pursuing their legitimate action. Because to recover is a very big something that is not within the purview of the parliament. All of us all we do is to find, you can track, yes, you can trace, but to recover, that is not our job. That is the point I'm trying to make, Mr. President. And lastly, when this ad hoc committee was given, even though this is an interim report, I think they should go ahead and trace and track and report.
Thank you. Former Chairman, Committee on Finance, and current Chairman, Senate Committee on Appropriation. Have you seen, did you look at recommendation 6?